Hello everyone, and welcome back to our channel. Today, we're journeying back thousands of years to the sun-scorched plains of ancient Haran to explore one of the most compelling family dramas in the Bible. This is the story of Jacob, found in Genesis, chapters 29 through 31, a tale of love, intense rivalry, and the intricate workings of divine providence. Our story begins with Jacob, a man already in his late 70s. He's not a young man seeking his fortune. He's a fugitive, having fled the wrath of his brother Esau after a bitter deception. He arrives in the land of his mother's relatives, a man weathered by the desert sun, his life already marked by struggle, and a profound promise from God. Here in Haran, under the endless sky, Jacob's destiny will take a dramatic turn, setting the stage for the very foundation of the 12 tribes of Israel. When we join the story in Genesis 29, Jacob has been tricked into marrying two sisters. First, Leah, the elder, described as having gentle eyes, but often feeling overlooked and unloved. And then Rachel, the younger sister, beautiful, vibrant, and the wife Jacob truly adores. This complicated family lives in a bustling camp of tents, a common sight in the ancient Middle East, where polygamy and large extended families were part of the cultural fabric. The tension in this household is immediate and palpable. The Bible tells us that God saw Leah was unloved and chose to bless her. She gives birth to 4 sons in quick succession: Reuben, Simeon, Levi, and Judah. Each birth is a cry for her husband's affection, a hope that she might finally win his love. Meanwhile, Rachel, the favored wife, remains barren. Her heart aches with envy and desperation as she watches her sister's family grow. The rivalry between the sisters isn't just personal. In their culture, bearing sons was a woman's highest honor and primary source of security. Driven by her longing for children, Rachel turns to an ancient custom. She gives her handmaid, Bilhah, to Jacob as a surrogate. Bilhah then bears 2 sons, Dan and Naphtali, whom Rachel claims as her own. Not to be outdone, Leah, who has temporarily stopped having children, responds in kind. She gives her own handmaid Zilpah to Jacob, and she bears Gad and Asher. The family camp becomes a stage for this painful competition, with children being born into a web of jealousy and rivalry. Finally, after years of prayer and heartache, the scripture says, God remembered Rachel. She conceives and gives birth to a son she names Joseph. His arrival is a moment of pure joy for Rachel, and a pivotal turning point in the family's story. By now Jacob is in his early 90s, his hair likely streaked with gray. He is the father of 11 sons and a daughter, Dinah. He is the head of a massive, complex, and often conflicted household, but he holds fast to God's promise to make him a great nation. After serving his shrewd father-in-law Laban for 14 years in exchange for his 2 wives, Jacob decides it's time to build his own future. Now in his early 90s, but still strong, he wants to return to his homeland. But Laban, a calculating elder who recognizes that Jacob's presence has brought him immense prosperity, is reluctant to let him go. The 2 men, both masters of negotiation, strike a deal. Jacob proposes a unique wage. He will take all the speckled, spotted, and dark-colored sheep and goats from Laban's flock, the less desirable animals. Laban agrees, thinking he's gotten the better of his son-in-law. But Jacob, guided by a clever strategy and perhaps a touch of divine favor, begins to breed the flocks. Miraculously, his herds of speckled and spotted animals multiply at an astonishing rate. He grows incredibly wealthy, amassing vast flocks, servants, and camels. This success, however, doesn't go unnoticed. Laban's sons become consumed with jealousy, and Laban's own attitude toward Jacob sours. The tension in Haran becomes thick and suffocating, and Jacob knows in his heart that God is calling him home to Canaan. The breaking point arrives in Genesis chapter 31. After 20 years in Haran, Jacob, now around 97 years old, decides to flee. Under the cover of darkness, he gathers his wives, his 12 children, and all his possessions, and begins the long journey back to the land of his fathers. It's a tense, clandestine escape. During the chaos, Rachel makes a bold and risky move. She steals her father's household idols. This act adds another layer of intrigue and danger to their departure, hinting at the complex spiritual landscape of the time. Laban is furious when he discovers their escape and the theft. He gathers his kinsmen and pursues Jacob for 7 days, finally catching up to him in the hill country of Gilead. What follows is a fiery confrontation between the two patriarchs. Accusations fly, tempers flare, and for a moment, it seems violence is inevitable. Laban searches frantically for his stolen idols, but Rachel cleverly hides them by sitting on them, claiming she is unwell. Ultimately, instead of ending in bloodshed, the confrontation leads to a covenant. Under the starry desert sky, Jacob and Laban agree to a truce. They set up a pillar of stone as a witness between them, a boundary that neither will cross to harm the other. They share a meal, sealing their pact of peace according to the customs of their ancestors. This solemn agreement marks the final separation between Jacob and his life in Haran. As our story concludes, we see Jacob, the 97-year-old patriarch, his face etched with the wisdom of a long and difficult life, leading his family away from Gilead and toward the land promised to him by God. This epic saga of family conflict, deception, and unwavering faith lays the very foundation for the nation of Israel. It's a powerful reminder that God often works through flawed, imperfect people to accomplish His extraordinary plans. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the book of Genesis. The story of Jacob is a testament to the fact that even in the messiest of family situations, there is a thread of divine purpose. We wish you peace and wisdom. If you enjoyed this video and want to explore more stories from history and scripture, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. We'll see you next time.